with Christian, Muslim, and other traditions, we can save the world, be it calling on supernatural benevolent powers or figuring things out together. But the real question is not whether we can, it's why. And I'm suggesting that our goal should be to celebrate and protect the feminine and the woman and her flower. And that supernatural powers made a species in order to enjoy itself. And when different people look to different things like consumerism or pets or materialism or other sources for meaning and purpose in life, what they're doing is they're neglecting what we can do ourselves, which is to use the masculine forces to protect and celebrate the feminine. And even though women can be in their masculine and they can defend themselves, I don't think that's courageous, and I don't think it's ideal as an end game. The end game shouldn't be, everyone should be hardworking and a masculine man. There should be room for women to be able to be in their feminine and be able to be playful. And so part of that has to do with men allowing for the woman to and the feminine to bloom, both literally and figuratively, because when women are able to show off and be playful and dress colorful and even show off their bodies, which some traditions are against, but I think that a married woman should be able to show off her body and as entertainment in a wholesome way, as entertainment for men, so that the men have something to preoccupy themselves and engage in self-intimacy, and that helps you to avoid premarital intimacy, because it's avoiding, it's using that post-nut mental clarity to not want to pursue intimacy. And plus, I think both men and women need to be able to be intimate with themselves so that they know what kind of intimacy and the frequency and duration of intimacy that they actually want. And so, but this is human beings, and a man should want to give attention and compliments to women, as opposed to always being into maybe being like the big shot or having a fancy car and all this showy stuff. That's part of the enjoyment of life, but the primary enjoyment should be about celebrating women. And the thing is that if we don't do this, then why are we existing as a species at all? So, and even LGBT can help play a supporting role by promoting sacred marriage in their communities, and also enabling the feminine to live out, and that feminine can also be in a man. And I think the roles, I think it's just funner, and it creates you have to have roles, and you have to have a reason for being married. You have to have plan and roles and a backup plan. Like if the provider loses their income, the backup, of course, everyone should be competent and be able to earn money in different ways. But it's like we need to also think of what's ideal, and realize that, especially as these strongly religious people, which I agree with a lot on in terms of values and healthy spacing between the genders and everything. I have lots of videos on how to avoid premarital intimacy and everything, but also we have to recognize that in order for LGBT to also be all marriage oriented and loving, we need to celebrate them and recognize them too. And this whole rejection of them only leads to more secret and promiscuity in those circles. So thanks for considering, and together we will be using that value, because there's lots of values that religions promote and lots of rituals, but I think the value of avoiding premarital intimacy will allow us to trust each other more than any other value. Like, for example, when you know somebody is a strong religious Christian or Muslim or what have you, you know that they are going to be more trustworthy and wouldn't less likely to seduce your future wife or your sister or your daughter or your sons and everything. So let's get into that. Thank you guys for considering, and much aloha to a world worth living in together. Aloha.